Welcome to the Huron Valley Now podcast, where we tell local stories of business, life, and giving back. Today, I'm here with Jessica Moore from Reflection Stained Glass Studio in Davisburg.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Jessica, you probably get this question all the time, but how did you get started in stained glass?
So, when I was getting ready to graduate high school, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And so I was praying about it, and I didn't want to just go and do something and then hate what I did. And so I was praying about it and started kind of having more of an interest in stained glass, and God kind of led me to that. And so after that, I was kind of afraid about telling my parents about it and my family, because it's kind of an odd thing, not going to college and pursuing art. And so I waited a couple weeks, and actually, funny enough, my dad came up to me a couple weeks later and said, "Hey, what do you think about starting stained glass?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay, well, I guess I don't have to worry about it." So after that, I went ahead and did a very short class just to learn the basics. And then from there, it's been about 10 years of working in it, so.
Very cool, very cool. And have you always seen yourself as being an artist, or was that something that kind of came later in life?
So growing up, I never really thought about what I wanted to be or what I wanted to do, and so I have always loved art and just always pursued that. So I think it was more of a natural occurrence. Like, it just happened that I just kind of went into being an artist.
And was there like a specific moment that drew you towards the stained glass thing? Was there one piece that you saw that was really cool to you, or?
Yes. So growing up, my dad was a pastor, and we were renting this big church building, and there was this huge, like almost 2-story stained glass window. And there was this one Sunday where there was nobody else in the building. They were off at a meeting, and I was sitting in the room, and I just was looking at the stained glass. And I remember just being just in awe of like just how beautiful the light was coming in and just casting all these colors all over. And it was just so beautiful. And I think that was the moment that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's so beautiful. I love that.
I love that story. I think a lot of us have been wowed by stained glass in churches.
Mm-hmm.
It's really beautiful.
Yes.
So you've got your studio over in Davisburg. What should people expect when they come and visit?
So when they come and visit, you come in, and it is a studio. So there is all my glass out, and you can see it. And you can see my work space where I do all my work. And I also have a lot of pieces that are displayed, so they can come and just expect to just be kind of pushed right into the whole thing. So that's very cool.
Yeah, and you have a place there also to kind of work on designs with everybody? Or?
Yes, yeah. So at the front, I have a table where we can sit and discuss custom orders or just what they were thinking about.
And you do a lot of custom order work, actually. So how does that process work if somebody wants to come in and they have an idea for a piece?
Yeah, so what we do is they come in, and it could be, whatever. It could be a piece for maybe a loved one, or maybe a loved one who's passed, and it's a memorial piece. And so they'll come with an idea, and we will discuss it and talk through it and discuss, the styles that they like, the colors that they like. And then I will then go from there, and I will do a sketch, and we will work together back and forth until we can make it exactly what they are envisioning. So it's a really cool process, and I love being able to just work with each individual person and just create this piece that is meaningful to them.
It's really beautiful. I can imagine how special it is to have a memorial piece around your home. And your studio's in Davisburg there, but I imagine your pieces have gone all over the place. So I'm curious, what has the response been from the community? Are people loving the pieces? Are they loving the design process? What's it been like?
It's been really cool. I've gotten to connect with a lot of different people from different backgrounds and create a lot of very interesting and beautiful pieces that I never thought I would. And they are loving it. It is just really fun to get to know new people and see their art style, what really speaks to them, and being able to create pieces that do speak to them. So it's a very cool process.
And making those custom commissions, especially ones for maybe a memorial, you've probably heard a lot of really touching stories. I'm curious, is there one that really stuck with you, maybe is your favorite piece to work on?
There's been a lot of different ones. It's kind of, okay, so one of them was pretty funny and sad, but it's a good one. There was this one woman who, her daughter passed away, but her daughter always would tease her and they would joke about flying pigs. And so she commissioned me to make a flying pig piece and she has it hanging in her window, and it just is a reminder of her daughter and just the connection that they had together.
It's really beautiful to get to be a part of people's lives like that.
Yes.
It's so cool. So a lot of our listeners are probably new to the whole stained glass process, and maybe some of them are curious about getting a piece made for themselves. What would that process be like? Is it something easy to do? What's it like working with you?
Yeah, it's actually very easy. So basically you just come, you contact me, and we make an appointment, and then you share your idea or your thoughts. And sometimes, it's hard to know exactly what you want, but that's okay because we work through the process together. And so we'll sit down and we'll talk about, okay, maybe it is like a flower or something, and there's a specific type of flower that's meaningful. And so we'll talk about that, and then we'll say, okay, do you want it to be like a sun catcher, like something small, or would you like it a window, or whatever. And so we kind of just work through the process and until we can get it exactly to what you want. And then from there, once I get it confirmed, then I will start the process of picking out the glass. And then I'll cut it and grind it. And then from there, you just keep on with the process of getting it. And I do the Tiffany foil method. So I will take copper foil and wrap around the pieces and then solder it from there. And so it's a really interesting and unique process, but it's very fun. So
they get to be involved in like every part of the
yes,
design
I like
process.
I like to also share as I'm doing the process with them, so they can see the glass that's being picked out and make sure it's exactly what they want. And then sometimes maybe you have a very specific color, and then when you come to my studio, I have all my glass set out, and you can say, oh, I like this piece. And then we can make sure we incorporate that into whatever the piece that they are commissioning is.
And you've got a growing social media presence too, so they might see the behind the scenes of the making of their piece on Instagram.
Yes, I do a lot of as I'm making posts, so it's very fun.
And if people want to check you out there, it's Reflections Glass Studio on Instagram?
Yes.
So we've talked a whole lot about your custom art pieces that you've done, but you also do some authentic art pieces that are just you. Can you talk about that a little bit and maybe mention one that's been your favorite to work on?
Yeah, so I am a full-time artist as well, and so not just a business owner. So I do like to create pieces that, as an artist, speak to me and kind of maybe even tell a little bit of my story as well, and things that have inspired me throughout the years. And so I would say I have made this piece. I had never done this before, but I made a piece for myself, and I'd always made art for other people. So this is a kind of an interesting and cool thing. And so my favorite flowers are lotuses. And so I decided to go ahead and create a lotus panel for myself, which was very cool. And in doing that, I actually kind of found my style as an artist. So it was a very interesting process of, I'm just gonna make art for me that I love and that speaks to me. And when I did that, it was just very cool, because now I have found that I'm starting to incorporate some of those same things into other pieces that I am creating. And so it's a very fun and interesting thing.
That's a really cool story, and it really shows the value of honoring yourself in the process.
Yes.
And I'm curious, do you have any pieces that you're excited to work on one day?
Oh, I have many. I've been doing a lot of design. I have many that I am very excited about. I'd say one that I'm very excited about is a piece that is quite big. So I haven't started it quite yet, but it is a picture of a wing that goes across, and there underneath that is just this serene field with mountains behind it, and it kind of is meaning that, you know, when you are under God's protection and allowing Him to take control, there is prosperity and there's beauty and there's a lot of growth in that process. So that's kind of the meaning behind that piece. So I'm very excited to get that one started.
I love that vision. I'm excited to see it come to life.
Yes.
And before we wrap up, do you have maybe a message or a mantra that you want to share with the audience?
I would say, just like stained glass, we are all made up of different pieces, beautiful and broken. But when we allow the light to shine in and through us, we become something extraordinary. And so I'd say to, you know, don't be afraid to follow your dreams, even when they're scary and if it's uncertain, because you never know where it's going to take you.
That's a really amazing message to share with our audience. And if you connected with Jessica, go ahead and connect with her on Instagram or by visiting her website. It's Reflections Stained Glass Studio.
Yes.
No, it's Reflections Glass Studio.
Yes.
On Instagram, and that's also her website, reflectionsglassstudio.com. So check her out, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next episode.
This episode was sponsored by the Cairo Tribe Chiropractic.
When you're ready to embrace a healthier perspective tailored to your needs, discover a world of wellness with the Cairo Tribe.
Everybody say, bring that bone alone. Come on, bring that bone alone.
At the Cairo Tribe, we specialize in easing daily pains and discomforts at our House of Wellness, where we focus on what truly works for you.
Everybody say, bring that bone. Hey, bring that bone alone. Everybody say, bring that bone alone. Yeah.
Experience the difference at Cairo Tribe Chiropractic and Wellness in Highland. Call or text at 248-800-6214